This is Curious Expedition 2. I've got a vague sense that I liked Curious Expedition 1, but I forgot almost everything about it. This one I've just played through the tutorial, and I'm just about to start my first proper expedition. So I figure I'll bring you folks along for the ride. I returned triumphantly to Paris after my first successful expedition, bursting with pride. I looked forward to making a name for myself as an explorer. Moreover, I was rewarded with a set of extra expo tickets for my efforts. Such generosity. Okay, so let's select an expedition. So this is me. So during the original tutorial, I was playing as this character that I apparently am no longer playing, but she had a couple of companions, and this was one of the companions who I selected as being my main character going forward. So it looks like I've got a couple of different expeditions I can go on. Let's just choose the top one. I think... Yeah, this one's only got one skull. I don't know what the skulls mean. I'm pretty sure that I want only one of them, though. So yeah, select sponsor. Oh, hello. Who are these people? Okay, so there are these different groups who can... Or is that an automaton? What kind of world is this? Yeah, I definitely want the automaton to be supporting my expedition, so let's go. It was my last night in Paris, and I decided to celebrate over drinks. I spent the evening at the tavern, looking back at all the small decisions that led me here. Vupadak, who was someone, a native of the island we had visited, who we recruited to our group, asked what I was most looking forward to on my next expedition. So I chose an anthropologist. So probably exotic cultures will be my thing. Vupadak agreed. There was so much we could learn from other people. We spent the evening discussing other cultures. To adventure! Alright, so the whole vibe of this game is that you're going on these expeditions to unknown territories. This is kind of it's set in a fantasy world, or at least sort of an alternate world, so you're not really delving into real-world existing history, which is good, because this entire subject matter sometimes can be a little bit problematic. They're going to great pains to make sure that our characters that we play are very, respectful to native cultures, that we're, the things that we're investigating are these kind of otherworldly magical things that don't really bear much resemblance to any, real world thing that folks could worry about. Though, I mean, we're skirting close enough to the edge of some of these topics that it's still, your mileage may vary. But let's see how it works. So I pulled close to the island, meeting up with my supply vessel. Lux Labs provided me with a modest budget to outfit my trek. Okay, so let's buy some stuffs. I've got an item here that looks like it just gives me a bunch of stats. And a machete for my main character. What else are we going to need? I've got $80 here. And so yeah, okay, so it's been a while since I played the tutorial. Okay, so I don't even know how to choose. Should I just grab... Okay, so I know one thing I'm going to need is a lot of sanity. So let's buy a bunch of food to help me recharge my sanity. That'll be really useful. And then let's grab sort of one each of the tools that might be necessary to help me on the map. And I think we'll leave everything else behind. I think this is what we're going to want. My equipment chosen, I considered if there was yet more to be done before I landed on the island. Now let's go. Let's get out of here. Ancient legends told of a great golden temple on the island that loomed ahead. A massive ancient thing, and made of pure gold. I was to find this legendary structure, adding to the already substantial honor of Lux Labs. Okay, so I'm arriving here on this island. My goal is to enter the Golden Pyramid. I don't know where it is. And so the way this game works is it's a lot like, other roguelike style games, in that, you're following kind of a varied branching path, trying to get deeper and deeper into, some unknown terrain. There are resources like health, or in this case, sanity, that I could lose along the way. There's a decent chance I will never make it to my destination. And if my expedition fails, and I got to start over. But if I can get there, and if I can survive all these challenges, and it succeeds, I come back home, you know, that much richer, that much better equipped for my next run. So, but instead of having, a lot of these types of games have like a branching structure. Like I'm thinking of Pathway, for instance. It's got these predetermined paths, and you're choosing your route along the branching path. Slay the Spire works that way. In this game, you actually are manually plotting out your route. And one thing that's an interesting choice that they made about the way that you navigate this game is each discrete move you make is pretty expensive. Like, just moving one tile costs me 6 sanity. They use sanity because I think this is supposed to be kind of reminiscent of like Heart of Darkness, the idea that the deeper you go into unknown territory, the crazier you get, and that's the main cost. But notice the first step is 6, but then each additional step is 1. Or, if I'm going through like rough terrain, it might be a little bit more than 1. But the other game uses pathfinding to sort of find me the shortest route. So it actually benefits me to take, if I just take tiny little steps and I like watch the fog of war disappear and I'm just super hyper cautious, that's massively expensive to me and I'll never make it. I have to take these big swings, so it make a sort of a big leap in each direction. So, okay, we've got a trader here. I don't have any cash and I've only got my starting equipment. I don't think I want to talk to a trader. There's a question mark here though, and 13 is about an appropriate amount to be losing here. So let's go here. So I love these little like characters that like dance down my path. Okay, so this is a shrine. Let's approach the shrine and see what happens. We stood before a temple comprised of huge stones. The structure was slightly tilted and subsiding. The ground seemed as if it could open into a gaping chasm at any moment. Yeah, we still gotta go in. Inside was a small empty chamber, a long hallway leading to the main altar. I would have to be careful of traps here. Okay, so shrines hold valuable treasure but are very dangerous, and robbing them will set off catastrophes that anger the locals. I mean, I don't want to rob it. I guess, okay, so it costs me a torch to search for secrets, I guess? I only bought the one torch, but let's give it a try. So you notice that it uses die rolls to determine the outcome of choices. So I can see here are the 4 dice that I have, and I need to roll at least 1 green in order to succeed. And if I get 2 greens, that's a bonus. So let's see what happens. Roll. Oh, that's a disaster. Absolutely failed. So I can look at each of the dice and see what its potential was, but man, that went really badly. Moments after I began my search, I felt a flagstone sink beneath my foot with an ominous clunk. I triggered a trap! Before I could take another breath, a flurry of darts shot from tiny holes in the wall. Okay, well, we have to dodge, though my chances of rolling a green seems to be lower than I originally estimated it as. Okay, good. I got 1 green. Success. I dodged. Without thinking, I threw myself to the ground. I could feel the wind move as the darts buzzed barely an inch from where I lay. I had narrowly averted disaster. Okay, so that was kind of a waste. Let's enter the altar chamber. I considered the main chamber once more. Pictographs above the altar warned that the great chasm would open beneath the shrine if the treasure here was disturbed. Okay, so I'm not going to make any choices that say, take the treasure. However, investigate the altar doesn't say take the treasure, so I'm going to go for that. Oh, okay, so this gives me the opportunity to steal things. But I'm an anthropologist. I'm not here to find things. I mean, I'm here to learn. I'm not here to steal. So let's just get out of here. Let's see what else we can do. So, all right. So I don't see any other question marks on the map. So I think I want to take as large a step as I reasonably can. Yeah, let's go this way. Okay, so you can see the map opening. Ooh, there's a spot up there that might be interesting. And there's a spot right here and a spot over there. Okay, so we got lots of options. Backtracking seems questionable. I'm hoping that I can eventually come back here on my way home. So if that's the case, maybe 18 to go here, 10 to go here. Let's take the 10. So my sanity is slowly ticking down. Oh, what is this? Nuseri Bimuyo, obviously. Oh, it's a native village. Okay, so I've gotten close enough to identify, but I think I'm not there yet. I need to... Having it stop me short and making it more expensive to take another step feels a little bit wrong. But yeah, let's go over here. What are these purple plants? That's odd. Oh yeah, Joshua Schluter's pointing out, I'm now imagining how invisible ink would be if the first move was the most costly. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I get so much, there's a lot of like tactical games where having really fine control over your movement and being able to move cautiously is like critical. Though I guess, XCOM is kind of like that in that, you only get the one move, whether it's short, whether it's long, it doesn't matter. Once you moved, your move is over. And so you have to kind of decide whether you're going to take little tiny steps and have it game take forever, maybe fall short of a timer, or take these big dramatic moves, in which case you might stumble into something without realizing it. So it's not an uncommon choice. It's interesting to see it handled exactly this way, though. Anyway, as we arrived, the whole village were bowed before a mysterious-looking idol. The natives observed us with caution and offered to help our cause. Okay, so we can rest in the village. I'm not sure what this resource is that it's telling me this costs. This appeared in the tutorial as well, but it was never explained. My guess was that this resource might be this one over here. That basically this is how happy the chief is with us, and resting in the village is costly to that. Well, I'm definitely not doing this. So let's trade. A woman from the village unrolled a mat revealing the village's trade goods. All right. So I can make these people happy with me if I make a trade that's advantageous to them. So let's see. So I could give them some... Let's give them a little bit of my food. Actually, let's give them enough to... standing. Okay, so that's... You can't see it behind my head, but that icon is standing. And so that's what I'm raising by giving them stuff. I wonder... I've never needed a first aid kit before, so maybe I'll give them that. Raise my standing by 2. And I won't buy any of their stuff. Let's just raise my standing. Okay, so now I've got +2 standing, which is listed here with the chief. And so now I can rest in the village without pissing everybody off. So let's do that. An elderly villager approached me with a cup of tea, chanting solemnly. I drank it to be polite, the taste strong and bitter in my mouth. The chanting continued, and after a time I felt myself joining in, almost against my will. My vision swam, and I felt a wealth of knowledge straining at the borders of my perception. Nice. Time passed. I do not know how long. All things seemed one, and I drifted into unconsciousness with the feeling that I had touched something important here. Accept, imbibe, drink of the soul. Become one with the night. One with the night. Sleep. Drink of me. Okay. So we're resting. So I gave up some of my food, which is normally used to restore sanity, but I think I gained more sanity from resting than I would have from eating that food. So this is overall good for me. So that cost me some standing. So I'm back at 0 again, but, given how poor I am, I think that's a pretty decent outcome. So I've recharged, I can go further, and I didn't leave any natives mad at me, which is good. So there's a prey animal over here. So this would be costly, especially because I think my destination is down here somewhere. So I think I want to be here eventually. This is not very costly, though, to come over here, so let's come over here. By the way, I'm not sure where this white boundary is. Okay, let's stalk an albino stag. Far in the distance, I saw the snowy white beast posed magnificently. I would need all my skills as a hunter to bring down this elusive creature. Ooh, so I lose standing with the local natives if I do this. But I kind of want to engage in some combat and find out how this works. Or maybe this isn't combat. I'm not actually sure. It looks like my chances of succeeding are pretty low. Oh, I've got this one die, though, that seems like it's got a lot of red on it. Unfortunately... Okay, so I can't... Okay, so this one has... It's got like a 2/3 chance, like a 60... Yeah. Oh, it even says that I don't need to preview the dice, because it actually says the chances are right here. I wasn't reading that well enough. Okay, so 1 in 3 chance of this one giving me red, 2 in 3 chances of this one. Not the greatest odds, but I think it's worth trying. Okay, I got a red. Success. So I've hunted the stag. It took great care and patience, but after a long day I managed to wing the rare beast. It immediately darted away, but it was now weakened and ready for the kill. Oh, okay. Did it... Oh, it's up here now? Really? Ugh. Well, I mean, there's another question mark here anyway, so... I like to finish what I started. Let's go here first. Okay, let's approach the stone statue. I discovered a granite idol, a grotesque face that towered above me. The great thing filled me with dread and curiosity in equal measure. I noticed that some items have been placed near the statue, presumably as part of some religious ritual. Okay, so I could take this stuff. It doesn't seem super worthwhile. I should leave something instead. I decided to leave the offerings alone. Who could say who or what was watching? Yeah, I agree. So what can I leave that would seem worthwhile? I mean, none of this... I guess some food? No? Okay, so I have to leave a certain amount, or I'll just be cringing that I didn't leave enough. So, okay, so actually, let's just guess that that's not going to be worthwhile. I don't want to give up too much of my food. I placed my offering at the base of the statue. A wave of peace washed over me, and I knew that my sacrifice had been worth the cost. How, though? What happened? I don't know. Let's go after the stag. I managed to find the wounded creature once again. Though it limped slightly, the great rare beast was still a magnificent specimen. Okay, well... This doesn't seem too bad. Let's give it a try. Okay, I did it. Success! Following a sporadic trail of blood, at long last I managed to find and kill the beast. I watched in quiet satisfaction as the life ebbed from its eyes. Oh. Luckily the thing's bleeding did not overly mar its beautiful white pelt. I got some meat. I got a pelt. Cool. Oh, I've got something now. What is with these purple... Okay, so... Okay, now they're not really hard to travel through. I wonder why they're here. What do they mean? Oh, wow. That is very expensive to move through. I'm not going to try to go through that. Let's see what I can see from here. Oh, yikes. Okay, so backtracking through that purple stuff is bad for my characters. Alright, so I gave up my climbing gear, and now I'm facing a plateau that probably I would have used my climbing gear to get over. I'm hoping that there's a pass over here that I can use to get through without having to climb. Let's give this a try. My sanity is getting dangerously low. Okay, yeah, I am managing to avoid climbing, but... Alright, let's Let's build up our sanity just a little bit. Oh, I can't eat too much at once. Interesting. Alright, let's... I can't see very far. That's really hurting me here. I don't want to just step into the swamp without knowing what I'm doing. Oh, we are stinky for some reason. Is it because we went through the swamp? Are we poisoned? What is this? I'm covered in tar. Oh, so tiles cost more because I'm covered in tar. Okay, well, at least here's a question mark. Oh, wait, no, I just clicked on something that would run me out of stamina. Crap. I mean, run me out of sanity. My sanity is super low. Okay, well, I've eaten a little bit. Oh. Do we just cook the meat? That doesn't give me very much, does it? Okay, well, I'm not quite sure how that worked, exactly how cooking the meat worked, but let's approach the pyramid. This is why we're here. We'd found our goal, the Golden Pyramid. Achievement had never tasted sweeter. After weeks of traveling, tremendous relief overcame me. I knew that the name Etienne Massenet would be respected within the community of intrepid adventurers. Victory? Oh, that's it! Okay, so during the tutorial I had to get back out again. It wasn't enough to find the destination, I had to also escape. But apparently that's not always the case. Oh, so I got new unlocks. And I also brought home that pelt, which people appreciated. Oh, so Etienne gets to choose a perk now. So I've got a good reputation, so it adds a standing bonus at the start of each island. Oh, that's good. Additional inventory slots, or doesn't trigger needle plants when traveling. That must be the purple plants. This feels like it's more in character with this guy. I'm trying to play him as somebody who's friendly with the natives, and having him start with higher standing, so I don't feel quite so much like I'm souring my relationships. It seems like a good thing. I returned to Paris at the grounds of the Expedition Universelle. It was good to be back. Okay, so I love that they're building the Eiffel Tower right now. It's like it's really I don't know, setting the tone of this place. All right, so there's all these different places I can visit. Looks like Lux Labs is one of them. I greeted Edibot jovially as I entered the Lux Labs main hall. He, or rather it, only sighed impatiently in response. Okay, so interesting. So are these like people that I can invite on my expedition, or I don't quite know. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is a weapon I can use in combat, but it also gives me the ability to travel in jungle better. And I can upgrade it with 83. I only have 75 though, so. Oh wait, no, wait, maybe it's not. Oh no, it's worth 75. It will be worth 83, but I spend expo tickets to upgrade it. It looks like it says 4 of 8. It's always hard. So different games use different rules. Does this mean I have 8 and it costs 4? Or does this mean I have 4 and it costs 8? Let's click this button and find out. It costs 4 and I had 8. The engineers at Lux were delighted to put their skills to use, and soon my item had been noticeably improved. Alright, cool. So now I really should take jungle missions, because that's where I'm going to have an advantage. So I can visit any of these places probably and get stuff. One thing I don't have is an additional character though. And I don't know if there's a way to get that. Okay, so my next option is to go on another expedition, but I think for right now, I've probably shown enough of the game that you get a sense of the kind of game that it is and how it works. And, I imagine that the idea is for me to try to build up this character and this party so that their equipment is better, their skills are better, and I can handle more and more difficult expeditions and get through them without, dying horribly. So let's cut this off now and, go to the end screen, wrap things up. But yeah, Curious Expedition 2. It's still in early access, I believe, but it's a pretty fascinating little game, and I love what they're attempting to do here. And It's only going to get better over time.